Welcome to Inspirational Leadership. In this series, we're looking at the character requirements for leadership. Keep in mind that you can actually go back and watch any of the last series or any of this series if you go back to our YouTube links after they've been released. We've seen in this series that a character requirement is we have to work on the back of stage, who we are as people. And one of those is a consistent walk with Jesus. Now, in talking about Christian leadership, it seems strange to have to mention that people have to have a consistent walk with Jesus. Surely people who are Christian leaders have got that sorted out. The problem is most of them, or most of us, are very activist type of people. We don't want to spend a lot of time sitting around and reading and contemplating. We want to get out there and do it. And yet, one of the key elements of the character requirement for leadership behind the curtain at back of stage, one of the key elements is a consistent walk with Jesus. Let me give you 4 things to do. First, a really simple thing. Spend time in a quiet time or a devotional life. I think almost every day that you can, almost every day, you should spend some time in a quiet devotional time with God. Read the Bible, pray, contemplate. Make sure you've found some space. 3 things to do in finding a consistent time. Find a place, find a time, and find a method. If you think, oh yes, I'll do that at some point in time, it won't happen. A place, a time, and a method. And spend time in developing a devotional life with Jesus. Secondly, why don't you consider and take up journaling? I started this many years ago and I found it really helpful. I know that sounds a bit like I'm a tree hugger as a journal, that I journal, but all you do at the end of your time of praying and reading, write down what thoughts you believe God is putting on your heart. What have you learnt yesterday? Just journal it. Because the next thing you need to do, the third thing, is I think hold regular retreats. Try and have 3 or 4 times a year, a half or a full day. If you can do a couple of days, fantastic. But a half or a full day where you just get alone with God yourself. And the thing to do, one of the things to do, is to read your journal. Go away with just a Bible and 1 or 2 books. Don't take a whole lot of music. Don't take your iPhone. Don't do all of that stuff. Turn your phone off. Just take some time to read your journal, to read God's Word and be open to the Spirit of God speaking to you. And fourthly, be sure you're part of a worshiping community. So we said of the things we've said so far is to have a consistent time, devotional time with God, to spend some time journaling, to get some retreats, but fourthly, to make sure you're in worship. Be a part of the worshiping community. For many leaders, that's part of what they do, but for others, it's almost like an optional extra. And it's a huge miss. You should be part of church. You should be in worship each week. You should be committing some time and energy to focus yourself and with the community of faith in worshiping God together. These things will help build a consistent walk with Jesus. That is what will be the driving force, the engine room of your leadership. Because if you don't, all you'll be is front of stage. All it'll be is a complete act. It'll just be putting on a show for people around you. A consistent walk with Jesus will actually make you the person that you're called to be as a leader of character. The question for reflection today is, how is your personal walk with Jesus going, and what steps do you need to take to build that walk?